Hello guys, welcome to a beautiful tutorial on how to create flyer. This video is designed to take you through a process on how to create a flyer like this for your tournament. This is to give those who wants to have an edge on designing flyer ideas to go about it. The designing tool I'm using here is Photoshop. I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step guide on how to get this kind of design from start to finish. So let's get right into it. If you open your Photoshop newly, you're going to have this kind of pop-up on your screen, creating new document. So once you create this new document, you can just follow my setup here. For now, I'm going to change some settings here. It's in inch, so I'm going to place it on 5 by 5 so I can have a wider width and something I can work with. So this 5 by 5 will give me a square. So I'm going to create the document and you're going to have a blank document like this with this panel layer and just having only background in this layer panel. Good. So the tools I'll be using inside Photoshop, just watch how I use them. Then I'm going to drop text to explain what the tools are for and their names when I touch and use. Even if I touch and use and I choose to explain the little way I can, if you do not understand, just ask question in the comment section, provided you are watching from YouTube. If you are watching from other platform, you can reach out to me through my contact. So we've gotten the first blank sheet for our design. Before getting to this design, you need to have a write-up of what you want to be in your flyer. In my case, I already have a copy I will use, but in your case, you need to write out all this information in a sheet of paper on your jotter, on your notepad, on your laptop. So for me, I already have them here to make the work easy so you can see the end from the beginning. Secondly, you need to create a folder where your files will be for easy navigation. For example, I have a folder where I've already kept the files I'm going to use. I'm going to use a picture like this. This is the background and a logo. So the text are already in the jotter you've written down. So let's go right into it step by step. If you look at this design here, you see we have this background. We have it in the design. We have this photo. So let's move every idea into ours by doing this. The first thing I'm going to bring in is the logo. So I come over to this panel first. I create a new layer panel. You see, the way this panel works, according to the name layer, is this. We have a background already, and this is the layer. The layer is on the background. So if I disable this, you don't have this anymore. Whatever that is here will not be visible. But if I enable it, whatever I write now or place on this background will be on the layer, not on the background. Good. So let me dive right into it. Let me import the logo. Every flyer or a flyer that wants to pass information should have a brand it is representing. In my case, my logo is this and that's my brand. So this is how I move the logo. Just drag and drop into the workspace and it appears on the document. From here, with this boundary being blue, I can edit, move around, resize, and so on. So to my desired shape and size, I can place the logo like this and put it at the top. Good. So the next thing I'm going to write is the name of the brand. In this case, I'll just come over to text tool T. I click on it and I drag and open a box on my screen. This automatically helps me create another layer on top the layer that contains the logo. So we have 3 layers now: layer for text, layer for logo, and the background. Good. So I can disable the background. You will see the background has disappeared because we had a white background before. That is how it works. Everything you place on this design stay on top each other so you can easily locate them and make your edit possible. For now, I want to write the name of the brand. So let me go with this. I'll make it all cap. So I can leave it as this, customer interest. If yours is an academy, you can add it there. Academy, service, and so on. So for now, let me leave it as just that. And I want to increase the size. I can come over here and increase the size. Then I can change the font from here to something like this. Good. So that is okay. I have this. So to change back this line, if you look at my mouse control, the pointer is not showing my right pointer, which is an arrow. So I'll come back to plus sign and click on it so I can have an arrow. So I can move my type, the name of the brand, to the desired location. That's okay. So the address for the brand, you can also write it too. Just click on the text tool and open up, just drag and draw this shape to open up this rectangle. So you can add maybe not. So let's say this is the address. Let me reduce this. Okay, so it's showing text sign. I go back here to plus and I'll move it here. So I have that already. So with that being done, there's something else I want you to do. Just come over to this tool. This is a shape tool. Click on rectangle, then drag and create a rectangle over the screen. For now, my rectangle, the fill space is showing like an off-white. So it's not fully white, but an off-white. So I have that. I'm going to place it under the logo and the address and the name of the brand. So for now, it's on top. That's why it's covering it. So for me to get it under, I'll come over to layer, then move it under everything at the top of background. Since I have this already, let me resize that. To resize this shape, come over to edit, then go to free transform. You can see it has created a blue outline around it, so you can just resize, reshape, and so on. You move it to where you want to put it and keep it like this. So I want it this way. Good. Now it is like that. We can continue with the rest. So we've organized the logo, the name of the brand, and the address. For now, that's okay. So you can do this to your desired taste. To keep my work organized here, because I'm going to have a lot of activity happening on this layer, I'm going to click on everything. To highlight everything, you can do that by holding Control and Alt. Just click on each and every one of them, excluding the background. Come over to this symbol here. It's saying link layer. Click on it. They are all linked. Then come over here, create a group and rename to logo. So in this space now we have logo. This logo contains everything, including the background and so on. So I can just have it around there, making it look decent. The next thing I'm going to import is the background, which is this. The same method, drag and drop on my workspace. To even see your workspace, you can just drag and drop it directly into the workspace like this. So since I have that already and it is highlighted, this is showing the boundary where I can edit, resize, and do other stuff. So I'll resize it, and I want it to have this kind of feel, not everything, so I can have this effect. So I'm going to do it this way. Good. So if you observe, I'm keeping a kind of space between that rectangle I created. There's a white space for the background between this and the background here. The white space for this background and the new chest background I brought now, they are not together, are not joining, so I kept a space there. Just my own preference. You can do yours on your own choice. So I'm going to reduce the opacity of this to 50 by just highlighting and clicking 50, and I have this. So I think that opacity is too much, so I can move it up to somewhere like 80. I keep moving till I get my desired. Okay, 90 is good. Fine. So with this, I'm okay. So what I'll do is this background entered in my logo. So I'm going to bring it out. In your case, it may not be the same thing. So I don't want this background to be inside the logo. I want it to be outside. I'm going to group them separately with other designs. So for now, I have this. Good. So let me adjust this a little. On this, I'm going to add a little design on it, probably modify it a little to have gradient color over it, and see this gradient color affects everything on this flyer design. To make it specific on this chest background, first off, I'm going to come over to this gradient fill. I'll click on clipping marks so that the clipping marks tells me that it's now affecting only the chest background. So to reduce the opacity, I can come over here and make some minor adjustment like that, and we are good to go. So basically, this is just what I have now for the background to have this. Then the next thing I'm going to bring in, okay, before bringing in anything here, let me group this. I'm going to click on control. I'm going to have control and alt, holding it, then clicking on this, linking the both and grouping it. So I'm going to call it, just double click on it to have chest background. That's settled. The next I'm going to bring in, so if I move all, it goes together with it. The next I'm going to bring in is this image. This image here. So before bringing in that image, I want to have that image inside a circle. So this is the image first. I keep it down here. So now I will go back to my tool here, draw an ellipse or a circle to your taste. Now I have this circle, and the circle inside is filled with white. So you know that this a circle is actually there. So I want to put this circle under this image. Let me explain. On this layer now, this image is under. So let me move it like this. Bring it out of the background. Don't know why it's entering the background. Just bring it out. You see there, and bring the ellipse out also. So let's do some tweaking here. Put this ellipse under the image. You see, that's well aligned. Then you take the image on it, click over it, and clip marks it. Now you are not going to see it because you did not put the image on top of the circle. Let's do it again. Put the image on top of the circle like this and clip marks it. Now you can see the image is wrapped over the circle like a gift pack. You have a gift pack for someone who is doing a wedding, so you wrap it with a nylon or that shiny nylon. That nylon in this case is this image wrapping this ellipse. That's why we can see the image at the top of the ellipse. So I want these chest pieces to show. So what I did was Ctrl T, just to get it, edit and transform, free transform. You can get it from here, or you press Ctrl T. You can get that easily. You increase and you get the desired. You get this. And I'm good to go. In this image, I don't want it to be colored. A touch of white and black. I just want to keep it simple and plain color. So I'm going to go over to image adjustment. Just know that your image should be highlighted from here to have this effect affect the image. So come over to the image adjustment, then go to white and black, click on it, move this aside. You see it has already changed. No need of doing any other work again, just okay, and we have that. So click on my ellipse, FX, stroke. I want to stroke it white, change that to white, I have that effect. Okay. Then increase the size of the stroke to 5. Okay. Now I have this. See, if I move this object, it's just only the image moving. It's not moving along with the ellipse. Rather, you can call it circle at this point. Control Alt with the image highlighted. Highlight ellipse, link, and group. So we can call it image in ellipse. Enter. We save. Now let's see. See, we can now move everything all over. I can put it here. Then Control T to reduce the size. Just move and like that, like that. You can keep it there. You can keep it here. Anywhere you choose to put it. It's based on your choice and your design. Okay. Then one last thing. I click on this ellipse. I come over to Effects. Then I want to drop a shadow. I want to drop a shadow highlight of yellow. Good, it's already there. I'll just move the yellow to this side and I have that small effect there to give it a kind of color, a touch of white and black and yellow. So we continue with the rest. To bring in more information here, the next thing to bring in is your rectangle. Just come here and click on a rectangle. You can use this rectangle that the edges are straight blunt, or you can use a rounded rectangle tool. If you click on this, you're going to have this effect where you can drag and draw a rectangle filled with white actually. So the rectangle is placed somewhere here. We don't want the rectangle to be here inside this ellipse. So we have to bring it out. In some cases, to avoid all this, you can just click on the image here. This is the last edited object. Let's come over here. In fact, so that we will not have some issues where your materials are showing inside one edited place, you can just create a new layer already. Then come over here. Then you create object on that new layer. Come back. This property of the object. Come back to the layer. You see, it's no more inside. So we have solved that issue. In this case, you notice you have this shape now outside. So let me undo this. Let me use this rectangle like this. Fine. Come back to the layer. See, it's outside. Good. So with this, we can, let me quickly edit this. Come to fill here and reduce this to, I prefer that 50, but 60 is still okay. Then I'm going to click on this rectangle, come to effects, stroke it with black. The boundary should be stroked with black. So I have that effect. Okay. Now our flyer is getting in shape. I want to write a text inside this flyer. I'm going to come to the text to T. Write chest ornament. So we're going to increase, just Control A, select all. Then let's increase the size systematically. Okay, we have this. Good. We have this size. Move it inside. So I have chest ornament. Now let me edit this rectangle. Bring it down like this. We are good to go. So let me add another information. Let me go to custom shapes, and these are information based from what we've written down. I want to write federated. So I want a spectacular shape for federated. Let me see the kind of shape I'm going to use. Okay, let me use this. So I'm going to draw it here. So I have that. So this is under the text. If you see the shape, it comes under the text and in between and on top of rectangle. So in this case, it's showing the text above it, just like the arrangement here. So if I want it to be under the rectangle, I can drag and put under the rectangle like this. But that effect I had is cool. So if I have this like this, I can write text on that new shape now I have by just clicking on T, or you go to text to and write today created. So now it's under it. So I'll locate it from here, I'll put it at the top of the shape, have it like this, and reduce the size a little. So I reduce the size to this and we are good. I can even click on the image and reduce the size a little to fit choice. So I have this. Now let's work on the opacity a little. Let's have it look like this. Give it a beautiful effect. 70 fill and opacity. Then we have that. Good. So I can just simply stroke it to just click on it. This can stroke this with white. Stroke white. So this is a design. I'm actually deviating from what is here. I can equally use exactly what is here to have this. So if you like this, you can use this. To get what is there, you can actually have the shape from here. This is it. See, that's the shape. And you locate where it is. This is it here. Just bring it under Flier rated. And the other star shape, you can just off it and you have that design. So these are, you can get different effects and by playing around with your designs. Then it is stroked with yellow from that side, a touch of yellow. Come here and you are good to go. So if you compare it now, you are almost having almost the same thing. We are getting there. So the next we are going to write is the information we want to pass across to the viewer of the flyer. It's not complete yet, so we have to fill in all these informations like the category. So this is how to write category. The same thing with text. Just come over to text to you open up, you write category. Categories. So for categories, you see, you can select or reduce the size to let's say 6. For example, we have 6. 6 is too small. Let's keep it at 8. No, 8 is big. 6 is okay. So we have that. But it is in black. Just come over to here and change it to white. Okay. White is good because that background is kind of black. So if you put black there, it may not show. The reader may not see it clearly. So this yellow, this white is actually clear on a black background. So category is here. To duplicate this, we have to do some technical work. So before I continue, let me arrange this place, this layer. We've done chessboard covered. Now we've done this rectangle, this shape, we did not use this shape. So let me delete it. Just click delete. I've deleted it. Then this rectangle carries this test ornament. So let me bring it on top of it, this rectangle. Now I have the two of them. Control and Alt with rectangle, link both of them and group them into chess tournament. For this category, it's up, so we'll bring category to the top, federated, and no, we don't want this, so just federated and this link group, we have federated. Okay, then for category now is there just alone. The next I'll write is open ladies and under 14. So to make the work easier, just that's it. So simple, just create a text document. Let me show you how this is done. Just Control T, then you open up, then you write open category, comma, ladies, and under 14. Okay, now see the size I have is 8. Y category is 6. Now, because of these spaces, this one let me delete one of them. Because of this space here, this space contains this information, and this my space is empty, so we have to fill it out. So this space here is small, so I have to adjust this. I think I did not link the two of them. Okay, let me link them so I can move it to the rectangle. If I link Control and Alt plus this will link. So once I link two of them, I can simply move the both together. Let me see if they also. I'll link this and this. I'll link it. So it's linked. Good. So I can move it so I can have enough space. Now I will not just because I want to create text. I'll start going to text to write, text to write. There's a way I can just duplicate these things, and this is how it works. For the category, I want this size for the heading of the next section, just like entry fee for all categories. You get? So I'll come over here, I will move this one, I'll click Alt and see the arrow has become 2 on category. You have a black arrow and a white arrow, so I'll pick it down. Now we have that. I'll write my information in it. So that information is big, so I'll highlight, Control A, go to 6. That's the size I want. Okay, move it. I'll move, just click on the text and move. Good. For me to duplicate this, I'll press Alt, then move the object I want so I can write on it. I need 2000. So here 2000, and that size is 8, so it works well. Okay, I have that. So the next one I want to write is registration closes January 3rd. Just let me group this first. Category and open. Category and open. Group 1. Category. Then entry and fee. This one needs to be outside. Okay, made a mistake there. Just Control Z, undo. So I need category here and open. So they're supposed to be together. Open should come down at the top of category, just like that. So category and open, link and group, rename category. Okay, so this, before I group the both of them, let me quickly duplicate. Alt, move it down, click on this, Alt, move it down. So I have this, I've duplicated this already. So now I have this should be under this. So this 2000 and this link and group. So I have it as entry fee. Entry fee Abi. Now let's edit this. This is that area where registration closes, blah blah blah. So the size is big. Control A on it. I want it to be 6. It's 6. So okay. Align it. Then this should be payment should be made. Copy. I'm just copying it and pasting text. That's basic thing I'm doing there to avoid wasting of time typing all this long stuff. So let's observe this. Look at, it's good. I just copy and paste. Good. So what next? For more details, so move it and put it here. Now let's arrange the layer panel. Registration closes by this. Registration. Here is this one. Where is all paid? Okay. Where is for more? Good. So this should be at the top. These two, registration, link, group. So reg fee. Okay, just for that. Then for more details can be like that. It's just solo on its own. Now, what other information are here? I think this, let me adjust something. I'll come down to background. This background, let me adjust this. Okay. Better. Okay. So I wanted this place, the highlight, to bring out the effect of the text there. So let me reduce this. Generated. Control T and you highlight it. So this too. Okay. Next, there is a particular text here. The time control is 20 minutes plus 10 seconds. Good. So just you can duplicate these two to get the job done faster. I just can just duplicate by I hold Alt, move this here. So I'll just click to edit. "20 minutes plus 10 seconds." Okay, what do we have again? And 6 rounds. 6 rounds. Now, this particular effect, you might encounter it when editing other text. This is how you arrange and manage them. Just control all of them. Go to this property setting. The character setting rather, you see in the character setting, you go to this particular panel here and reduce it to your desired spacing. Then you can also click on this kind of outline, whether you want it to be in the center or by the side, you have the desired effect. Then you can also adjust the color. If you want this color to be in red or yellow, just highlight that specific, just something like this, and you can have that design. And we are good to go, just to keep the design simple, short, and primary with different colors, not too overlashed with colors. Fine. Then the next that's here is we have this venue. So venue, I'll just drag and drop. This is allowed in Photoshop. This makes the job easy instead of typing and explaining what I've explained before. This time around, I'm going to explain one important fact here. This is it. In this case where this venue is written in white and there's a stroke around it as black, this is how I got that effect. Look at this, it is just plain white. So Control Alt and bring it here. What you do is you click on it, layer, go to click on that text, make it highlighted. These two, then make one of them highlighted. Then you see FX, click on FX, go to stroke. That stroke gives you this panel. So just look at your text that's highlighted with yellow. So come here and change it to black and you get the desired effect. Okay and okay. So this one helps me to show the content in white over black background. It's highlighted to make it appear okay, so it can be readable. This category, I want date to be there, so I can simply just click on it and adjust it to date. Once I have date like that, we are good to go. So for me not to repeat processes, let me delete this one, take it to the top, so it's at the top now. This silver bed and venue are one, so two of them should be linked and grouped to venue. Rename venue. Fine. Okay, so it's at the top of details because I just did it now. Now for this date, to avoid wasting time, let me bring this over. This can come over to here, drop it here. Good, so put it here. Monday, time. Yours, you are going to create them yourself. So just showing you this to make it faster for us. Then 10 a.m. New African time. So in your own case, you can just duplicate from what we have done so far and create your own at the top here. So let's group this. For date, control and alt together plus this link, and we call it date. Then time, hold this. Oh, just made a mistake. This time I will ungroup it. This belongs to time and Monday belongs to date. This and this is group. This and this group. So this one becomes time. So we learn along the way. Okay, we're getting set. Let me put time and control. Time control and this. Let me put it together. Link and group. Just organize this. Okay, now you see we have organized the layer panel. Now to finish up this flyer, most of what we need are already set here. They're already in place. So let me add the final touch. Let me put this rectangle here. Rectangle, I want it to be in yellow, so I have this yellow. This yellow is okay. Good. So I'll just reduce the fill a little. Let me keep it at 50. Okay, have it at 50. Then I want to write a text over it, and that text involves inquiry and so on. So from here, in your own case, you can just simply click T to write on it, or you can go to the text tool. To make the job faster for my sake and for this video, I'm just going to drag it and drop it, which you can do in Photoshop. So I'll just put it like this. So just put it here, because you can write it so you can have this desired effect. That's your choice. So basically, we have finished up this flyer and we are good to go. So you can add other stuff like Facebook logo. I have Facebook logo somewhere, but not to waste time with it or to load this further. This is even too much for a beginner, but I think it can transform you from a beginner to instant pro. With this design, you can go places. You can put this anywhere you choose to put it. You can choose to put it here. If your design has changed, you can put this one here. You can put this at the center. You see, I've changed the design just with few clicks. Even I can choose to move this around and we have the design. This is just a way to play with your creativity and develop yourself in your creative aspect. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this content, do not forget to support your boy by subscribing to this channel, like this video, and share these links to your friends so that they can get equipped with flyer design skills. See you in my next video.